Thank you for joining us for our Meet the Author program offered by the Virginia Beach Public Library. Today, we welcome local author Leetress M. Burris. Let me begin by asking you to tell us about your background and how you got started with writing.
Well, I developed a love for reading and writing at a very early age. Um, my mother, she worked at the library and she impressed upon my sister and I to read, read, and read. And I discovered that I could go anywhere by reading a book, by using my imagination. I have traveled everywhere by reading a book. If you ask if I've been to space, yes, I have through the pages of a book. If you would ask me, have I seen the Great Pyramids of Giza? Yes, I have through the pages of the book, and I have learned so many facts and trivia just through reading, and eventually the reading led me to writing poetry, short stories, and later a book or books. Um, I became a teacher through all of this reading because I love to learn. I became an elementary school teacher, and I taught in the public school system for 20 years in Delaware in order to help children gather that love of reading. I went into teaching not only to make a difference, but be the difference. But unfortunately, I am not teaching in a public school setting at present due to a medical emergency that I had on June 11, 2018. I had a hemorrhagic stroke in my basal ganglia. I had to learn to walk, talk, and all over again, as well as do things that I normally did before. I had to learn how to redo them some other way. But through all of this, my recovery, um, God bless me, because many people who have my type of strokes, they don't live through them, or they're so um, debilitated that they do not have quality of life. But thank God that He blessed me to be here today. So through my recovery, I started to find my voice in writing because teaching was my life. I love teaching. I think I was purposed to teach. And when I realized that I couldn't go back into teaching, I was like, Lord, what can I do? And just like I'm talking to you right now, He told me, write. You've been writing all along. You make up stories with your children. Write, because you will be teaching from a different platform. And that's what I did. So when I started to get better, I started writing. And today I have 7 books published and one on the way, which will be published by June 2023.
That's great, Leetress. If you would tell us about your latest book, not the one that's coming out, but the one before.
My 7th book, which is my latest, is Finding the Rhythm in You. And it's a delightful story about a young girl named Gina who has stuttering difficulties. And sometimes when you have a problem and children know that you have a problem, you're made fun of. But one thing um, Gina had on her side was a magnificent teacher, Miss Barnes, who realized that Gina had potential, and she gave her some strategies to help her be more confident in herself, as well as help her with her stuttering. And by the end of the story, Gina has overcome her stuttering difficulties, and she has become one of the top students of the class and friends with everybody. So, this is an engaging story that celebrates the uniqueness of a child and how she finds her rhythm in her own time.
All right. More questions about you. Tell me, is writing your primary career now?
At present, it is. It is. Um, well, you know what? Yes, writing, yes, yes, I can say it is my career now. But of course, teaching is comes along with that because now I'm having the capability of going out to speak to schools, children at assemblies, children at assemblies, and talk about self-esteem um, and things of that nature. So my books have lessons behind them. So writing is my primary career, but I'm still teaching in a way from my books. So
All right.
yes,
Now, are you self-published or do you have a publisher?
I have a publisher. Page Publishing has published six of the seven of my books. My experience has been wonderful with them as far as communication and the publication process. Basically, I really do not have to worry about anything with them because they let me know the stages that I have to go through, and if something is not right, they contact me. So it takes a load off of me concerning editing, page design, illustration, because I cannot even draw stick figures or a straight line. So I pay them to do my illustrations, which takes a load off. However, the only thing about it with the illustrations, they do not have my vision in mind. So therefore, I have to describe every scene, the colors I want, um, how the people look or the animals look. So I have to be very descriptive
All right.
with my illustrations.
Sure.
But they have been great. They have been great.
And how do you promote your work?
Well, well, a lot of it now is by word of mouth, but I do promote my books by posting on Facebook when I have events. Sometimes I do Facebook Live when I read stories to children. I have a story hour sometimes, and then um, they have the opportunity to win free books. Also, I do assemblies at schools and libraries and vendoring events. So I do try to promote my books as much as possible through those avenues.
And where do you get ideas for your books?
You know what? I just simply write about what I know. What I know. I write about my family. I write about my friends. I write about my pets. As a matter of fact, a couple of my books are about Snuggles. Is one of my bestsellers, A Wish for Snuggles, and he was my Chihuahua for 18 years, and he was quite a character. And he was such a character that I had to write a book about him, and it's one of my bestsellers. And I Am Me is based on my 5-year-old great niece. She's now 7, a big 7. 7 going on 70, and she is such a precocious child that a book needed to be written about her. And of course I write about uh, I love to travel, and my mother loves to travel too. Some of our exploits when we were traveling. So basically I just write about what I know. I believe that children really need to see themselves on the cover and the message must relate to them to appreciate the books. So therefore, in my book, I do incorporate things concerning self-esteem, um, self-concept, and things of that nature. So the books will be relevant to children
Sure.
of today.
Tell us a little bit about your writing process.
When I write, I just jot down ideas about my family, friends, pets, and children that I have encountered, and also where I've been, or if a child say, if I'm at at a store and I hear a child say something funny to their parents, I may jot down, and then I may use it in my writing. But in my writing, what I try to do is use some of the techniques that I used teaching writing when I was a teacher. Um, we use the pie method, which is persuade, inform, and entertain. So basically, when I write, I want to persuade children, I want to inform them, and I want to entertain them. And also using the six traits of writing, which are the using different ideas, organization, word choice, voice, conventions, and sentence fluency. So, and basically now that I have trouble sometimes writing, um, I use the recorder on my phone because sometimes it's hard for me to write because of my stroke. So therefore, I use the recorder on my phone to write ideas if something comes to me, or if I'm in the car, I may pull over and use my recorder, and that's it.
No, I think that's great. The recorder seems like a good alternative to having to write it down.
Mhm. Yes.
Tell us, where can your book be purchased?
Oh well, you can always contact me, Leetress M. Burris. But my books are available on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles. Dot on the .com. They're in the Barnes and Nobles um bookstores. And at present, well, I know they're in the Barnes and Nobles bookstores in Delaware and Pennsylvania. At present, I am working on my website for more access. But or you can contact me through Facebook if you're interested in purchasing a book, and I will get your information, and then we can I can mail you out a book, and we'll take care of business that way.
All right. What is a piece of advice that you would give to an aspiring writer?
Like I said, write what you know. Why would I write about technology if I really don't know anything about it? As Miss Chris found out today. So write about what you know, then let your imagination soar and transport you to other places. And when I write and think about what I'm writing, I visualize. Visualization plays a big role in what I write
Mhm.
because I want the children that I'm writing for to imagine themselves in that place. And will they be able to connect? Yes, I want to connect with my children. Oh, with all children. Well, you're my children, so to speak.
All right. At this point, will you read us an excerpt from your book?
Yes, this is called Finding the Rhythm in You, and this is my seventh book. I'm going to read one of the important parts of it. Miss Barnes started the class promptly at 8:30. With everyone standing to salute the flag except those who were excused from saying it, our class repeated the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we greeted one another and said our positive affirmation for the day, called the Positive Pledge. I knew the words to both of the pledges, but I struggled with saying them out loud. This pledge was on a poster in front of the class, and it reads as follows: The Positive Pledge. I am somebody. I am capable and lovable. I am teachable, therefore I can learn. I can do anything when I try. I respect myself and others, and I will be the best I can be each day. I will not waste time because it is too valuable and I am too precious and bright. I am somebody. And that that was important for me to write in this book because every morning when I was a teacher, we said this pledge to put a positive atmosphere in the classroom. And of course, the first day of school, I started it out with the class and then I sent it home. So the children had about 2 weeks to learn it. And then we started doing it freely. And everybody loved saying that pledge. So that's why I read that pledge from Finding the Rhythm in You, because it is important for children to believe that they are somebody.
Leetress, it's a great positive message. I think people are gonna love your book. I
Thank
wanted to go
you.
ahead and sure. I wanted to go ahead and put out a list of all the other books you've written if people are interested. Here are the other things, and I put in also the book that's due out in June, the one that's called I Am We. At this
Yes, that's a sequel to I Am Me.
all right. At this point, that would be the end of my questions. I wanted to know, do you have anything else to add to what we've said so far?
No, all I can say is whenever you have a time, when you have time, please take a look at my books and buy. And my slogan is I sincerely believe readers are leaders.
I like that very well. Thank you so much for joining me today,
You're
technology
welcome.
problems and all. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and best of luck
Thank
with
you
your new
for
book.
having me.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.